evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 2016 Zoning Board of Appeals, Town of Carmel. The way we operate, well, everybody's names, the board members' names are in front of you. Tonight we have Mike Carnaz, our Code Enforcement Officer. The way we operate is we'll hear the cases, state your case, and we'll ask our questions and what have you, and then we'll open it up to the public. Once the case is closed, there's no further input from the public, so bear that in mind. Would you all please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have a couple of, before I call up the first case, we have a request for an adjournment for next month on, what number is it? Number 8. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Raid Auda case. I'll look for a motion.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Guys, thanks. Just let us know what you find out for next month.
I think it was 7.
What?
It was 7, I think, wasn't it?
Number 8. Okay, if anybody's here from the public to hear that case, it's going to be adjourned till further notice. Okay? Number 1, tonight, Michael Freeman.
Motion to dismiss without prejudice.
All right. Before you
I'll withdraw.
jump to conclusions,
I'll withdraw my motion.
they did submit, we were waiting for a site plan. One was submitted to Mike, and it was not really readable. So, giving the benefit of the doubt, I feel maybe we should give them one more month. I know it goes against what I said last month, but they made an attempt. If
The
you
only
guys
thing-
feel
The only bad
differently-
thing is, since they did this, there is another animal there, an additional animal. I'm not trying to sway everybody, but there is another goat on the property. I'm not trying to sway everybody either way, I just want you to know that it's,
Keep my motion.
My point is, they made an attempt. It's not readable. I mean, that was over a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. They theoretically could have had enough time to, if they were initially, like a month ago, looking into getting the survey, or 2 months ago, they should have had it by then. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys if you think we should give them the courtesy of one more month, and I'm telling you, that's final word.
Was there a request to you, Mike, from you for a readable copy?
yes.
And you
As soon
have
as she came in, I said I need one I could read. She sent me the PDF. It was the exact same thing that was printed. I thought maybe when they printed it, it came out a little worse. You never know. The exact same thing. You couldn't see the numbers. The carport was not shown on it. So I couldn't, it said approximate location of carport with an arrow on it. Doesn't really help me. I can't measure where it is if it's approximate location.
I'm willing to second Silvio's motion.
Yeah, I'm putting a motion back out there. Motion to dismiss without prejudice.
Okay. Let me do a roll call vote on this one, then. Obviously, you're for the
I'm
motion.
for the motion.
Rose?
Against, I thought there was some confusion in the secretary, in Rose's office as to what was going on. So I'd like to extend it another month
Okay, so you're against the motion.
against the motion.
Bill?
For the motion.
For the motion.
Bill?
Against.
Mark?
Against.
Okay. I'm against the motion. So I think I want to give them the courtesy of another month, so but we'll carry that. This is the final time. Make it public. Mike, make sure that Rose reaches out to her tomorrow. That's it. Okay?
Problem?
Thank you. All right, number 2 tonight, Manfred.
They are coming from the
one yours?
city. If they're not here, they're coming from the city. They
Skip
could
them
be,
for now.
maybe give them a
We'll
few
skip them
minutes.
for now. Number 3, Timothy and Amy Smith. Good evening. State your name for the record.
Timothy Smith.
Raise your right hand, please. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Let us know what you're looking to do.
Just, I applied for a variance that I need for an attached garage to my residence at 11 St. Michael's Terrace in Carmel.
Okay, I was out there the other day. It's a well-kept property. nice construction and landscaping. One of my concerns was where you plan to build this thing. You have I think it's on your neighbor's property, a pretty old, healthy tree. If you're gonna excavate, it's for footings, you're probably gonna de-root or affect the roots on this thing. Have you guys considered that? Have you talked to your neighbor about this?
Neither of us were that concerned about it. It hasn't come up. I was just planning on being careful. The proposed garage goes about a foot or foot and a half past my existing driveway edge. So I didn't think it was gonna be that big of a deal. I haven't considered it, honestly.
There's no other property you can buy, right, to bring this into conformance? And you could not locate this anywhere else on the property? Obviously, it's gonna be a garage. So your driveway's right there, it makes the most sense. Generally, the root system on a tree follows the branches. So, I mean, you might have finer roots at the end of it, you might be okay, just cause for concern.
Absolutely.
You might want to think about that. So, we'll look to the board for any questions. Mark?
No questions.
You spoke to your neighbors about?
Excuse me?
Have you spoke to your neighbors
Yeah,
about the,
extensively, yes.
they're fine with it?
He was asking what's taking so long. He's excited.
No further questions.
No questions. Bill? Bill?
No questions, thank you.
Have you discussed the tree with him?
I have not. I will first thing tomorrow morning or tonight when I get home if he's out there. But he hasn't brought up any concern whatsoever about it, but we definitely will. I mean, my wife is a horticulturist, so she gets it too. I'm surprised she hasn't thought about it, but
All right, Silvio?
The only access to the bonus room above will just be through the garage itself, not through the,
yeah, just the stairwell inside.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I got it.
All right, is there any public input on this application? I'll look for a motion to close this hearing.
Motion to close?
Seconded?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a nice night.
You too. Number 4, Grossman. Good evening. Are you both going to be speaking? Well, I'll swear you both in anyway. Can you state your names for the record?
Eileen Grossman. My
All
husband.
right, raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right, let us know what you're looking to do here.
Looking for a variance on our property, 44 Lakeside in Mayapack, to build a two-car garage. It's a vacant lot right now. And looking to change it to have a single height, two-car.
Not out of character for that whole neighborhood. We've approved about 5 or 6 other ones in my tenure on this board. So definitely not out of character. The only question I had when I was out there, it looks like there's a retaining wall
Right.
to the left side. Obviously, you're gonna, that's on your property?
It's on our property, and we don't plan on disturbing it at all.
Okay, because it looked like the footprint of, like right here, where the back corner intersects it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be building footings for this, you may undermine that wall.
Yeah, I think when the architect built it, it is forward quite a bit of the wall,
Okay,
and we took that into consideration when he made the plans.
all right, the variances don't seem too extravagant, in my opinion. Any questions from the board?
I have one question, John. You're pulling it forward more than what you show on the plan? Okay, that's fine.
It's exactly as the plan
I just
shows.
want to make sure, because that would change the numbers, and that could be
Right,
an issue later.
right.
Our plans are accurate.
Okay. Any
Now,
questions?
we've done this before, over there.
Opposed?
No questions.
You guys good down here?
No question.
All right.
At one time, all of these
questions,
lots
you-
were
you
one
would
big
stop
lot,
up.
too.
And then they built the road between.
At one time, the house on the right owned the lot on the left, and it was one big lot. Then the town took the road, and then it became 2 lots.
Oh, it was a private road before
That was a
that.
private road at one time.
So it's a unique situation.
Very unique situation.
All right, any input from the public on this application? I'll look for a motion to close the hearing on this.
So moved.
Seconded?
Second?
All in favor? Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Luck. Number 5, Simone, or Simone, sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. You are?
Jackie Simone.
Can you just turn the mic down so I can pick you up for the video?
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, let us know what you're seeking here.
I'm requesting a variance for my shed that's been there since we moved in, 34 Colonial Drive.
How long have you guys been there for?
We've owned the house 10 years.
Okay.
And it
I was up there the other day. I mean, the shed is kind of old, so it looks like it's been there for a while. But typically with a 10-foot variance, we'll make you move it or at least conform, but it's well screened on all sides, surrounded by trees. The neighbor on the back, it looks like their deck is close too, but, not deck, shed, but it looks like everyone's got everything in the back of their properties. I would say if this thing goes forth on a condition, if that shed needs to be replaced or repaired, you bring it into conformance.
Okay.
So I don't know if anyone else got a chance to look at it.
I felt the exact same way, Joe.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
So there's no other property you can buy to make it conform, you wish? All right, any questions from the board? Any public input on this application? All right, I'll look for a motion to close the hearing.
Motion to close.
Seconded? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Number 6, Keo. How are you?
John, this is the one from last month.
Yep. If you guys,
Could not move the shed.
And you are?
Craig Keough.
Raise your right hand, please. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, you were here last month. I think your wife
Right.
was representing that she would move this to
Right.
bring it into conformance. What has come about since
We're
then?
looking for a variance.
Okay,
shed.
so,
I went out there, met his wife, I'm not sure of her name. We went out there, looked for an alternate spot to put it. It's not gonna work.
because it's oblong.
Because of the length of the shed,
door
it's
opens up to the
correct.
front
And it
on
would
the
have closed the
short
whole
side.
backyard off. There was no way to, it was difficult to make it comply. It wouldn't have fit properly.
I thought that was gonna be an issue, but
Yes.
it seemed like she felt confident it would work, but, so it's 7-foot variance is on the side, which is not too extreme, and 8 foot on the rear. I know we're talking about the pool being at 5 feet, which is close to where the shed would have been moved to anyway, so it's not far off of that. Again, it's nestled in a corner, and from what I remember, there was some screening there and some trees around this thing.
Yep. It's kept nice and neat.
You guys spoke to your neighbors? I mean, the shed's been there for a long
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
too, same situation.
They have no problem with it.
No problem in staying where it's at,
Nope.
including now the fact that the new pool has come to the other side of the property. All right, Silvio?
I'm good.
Rose?
Nothing.
Oh,
No questions, thank you.
Question.
down here. Any input from the public on this application? Okay, I'll look for a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, guy.
Good luck.
Nay.
Number 7, EMTK had requested an adjournment. I'll look for a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 8, we just held over. Number 9, Stephen Gorlick. Mr. Greenberg representing. State your name for the record, please.
Joel Greenberg, architect for the applicant.
Right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, Joel, let us know what the situation is here.
Basically, it's a one-family house with a single garage on the right-hand side, and the driveway is paved, and we're proposing to put in a carport, open carport. The base is already there, the blacktop already goes to the side of the garage, so we're just basically putting the carport on top of the existing blacktop. And as you can see from the survey or site plan, requirement is 15 feet. We have 11, so we need a 4-foot variance.
All right, so you're carrying the same roof line, same
And we'll carry
material?
the same roof line right across, as you can see from the elevation, carry the same roof line across, basically extending the roof of the garage.
Okay, and it goes the same depth as the roof line
Yes,
as well?
everything is the same, yes.
Okay, it's not too much of a variance, only 4 feet that you're looking for. There's no other property you can buy to bring this
No,
into
there's houses on each
conformance?
side.
There's not going to be an issue with any of the footings, right? Disrupting anything?
Just a couple of sonotubes. There's no full foundation.
Okay, did they talk to the neighbors on that side?
Does not seem to be any problem with the neighbors.
Issues, okay. Questions from the board? Mark? No questions. Mike? No. No questions.
No question.
Phil?
No questions, thank you.
Rose?
No questions, I was out there too.
No questions.
Okay, any public input on this application? Thanks, Joel. I'll look for a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. You too, Joel.
You too,
Thank you.
Joel.
Okay, and finally, this evening, number 10, 1979 Route 6 LLC. Good evening.
Good evening.
State your name for the record, please.
Dawn McKenzie from Inside Engineering. We're civil engineers for the Volz family.
Okay, and raise your right hand, please. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you. All right, explain to us what's happening here.
Okay. This is the Volz family's Meadowland Extension Project. It's located on Route 6 across the street from their GM dealership. And they were into the town a few years ago, and to do GM mandated improvements at the site. They've done those improvements. It was so successful, they now need more space for storage of cars. Their business has grown. So what they're looking to do with this project, they're before the planning board to get an outdoor parking area for storage of inventory, car inventory. So we're here today to get variances for a few things. We're looking for parking width variance, parking stall length variance, parking aisle variance. We also are looking for a variance for 0 square footage for a building, so we can put no building on the site when a minimum of 5,000 square foot is required. And the other thing we're looking for is a variance for an accessory use, the off-street parking without a principal use.
Okay. And this is directly across the street from the dealership, right?
It is.
Slightly up the hill,
Yeah.
just below
Yes.
the old credit union,
Yeah,
Right.
where Honeydew Men? is up
just
there,
below
right?
there,
Yeah.
yes.
I drove by it, everything's all wooded, and so it's hard to really envision what's gonna go there, but, you guys are contracted to buy the property, is that what's pending or is that already purchased and,
They've already purchased the property. They've been looking for a while. They need more storage space for cars. And this one came up for sale, and it's right across the street. It's very convenient
win-win.
for them. It seemed like the ideal location. It's hard to find the right size property, something that's big enough that's appropriately zoned, so.
And our code does allow the board to allow parking on an adjacent lot,
okay,
but it's not adjacent because there's a road between it.
it's adjacent, it's
Road
Not to
breaks
touch
it.
it.
next to it.
Across the street.
Well, sorry.
It is across the street. Is this a use variance? Because now,
It is, but it's not that, they don't have a principal use. So they can do it one of two ways, ask for that variance or go the opposite way. They're just being upfront and telling you the entire story. They can go and say, all right, we're looking for a variance for a 0 square foot building, and forget about it. They're putting every single thing on their list because that's what they do. It is a use variance, but it's not a legal use. It's a use that's permitted, but because they don't have the use with it, it's really the 0 square foot building that's the problem. Their first application had a building. They were just gonna build the building for no reason because you have to.
Because it was required
Well, you're
by
required.
zoning.
They were gonna do that. And
Right.
it was like, why would you wanna put a building and then have all of the additional impervious surface? And now you have to worry about what's going on over there. Are they gonna be working? Are they not gonna be working? You're better off keeping it separate, in my opinion.
Did they extend out? I feel like there weren't as many cars on the other side of the street. And all of a sudden, in the last year, I feel like it's expanded dramatically.
When they did Chevrolet expansion, they took down some of the treat areas, and I think you're seeing more than you did before.
Right.
I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. And yes, they
They
expanded.
did put in
They did
more.
expand too.
They did expand and put in more storage area, more vehicle storage area for the last proposal. And since then, their business has grown, and now they need more. So it's good, you know,
And
more jobs,
residents-
more tax revenue, you know.
Yeah, the
more
residents will
service to
not
the
go here.
community.
Right? It's only for
What's
the,
that?
only for staff.
Right.
The people are not gonna
pull
go
the
there.
car
The
off.
lot that we're proposing is going to have a gate. It's going to have, so it'll be closed after business hours, and it's going to have signs at the entrance that it's not open for public access. They actually have a system that they use already where they shuttle vehicles to the dealership for people to see, or the salesman will put customers in a car and bring them to look at off-site vehicles. So it's a protocol that they used at other dealerships, so.
So the tight stall width, the car would be managed by an employee or someone who's going to be more concerned about making sure they're not hitting another car next to it.
Correct. This is not a public parking lot. It is strictly a storage area for their cars. And it'll be, right, the vehicles driving in and out of it will be staff. And they really don't expect a lot of traffic in and out of the site. You know, they'll get the cars in and it just, you know, I believe what they said was 2 to 3 cars an hour. And occasionally they may have a truck in there doing deliveries. But we have a DOT entrance, you know, we're
Right,
taking,
you gotta make
it's
curb
been
cut
sized
and all that.
appropriately for that. That's why, and the majority of the parking stalls, we have, some of them are conforming in width, and some of them are not. There's some that are 9 foot wide. Most of them are actually 9 foot wide. The only ones that will be 8 foot wide are the parallel parking spaces along the driveway entrance, and they can park those right up against the curb because the only person getting in and out of them is the driver, who will be staff of Meadowland. And as far as parking stall length goes, quite a few of those are actually conforming. All the parallel ones are 20 foot long. The perpendicular ones, the straight-in ones, there are a number of those, and I have stats on it if you want to hear the numbers and percentages, but a lot of those are also 18, they may be 18 foot in length, but a bunch of them are up against the curb. So, and the code allows for 18 foot long parking stalls with 2 foot overhang if there's a
Raised bumper.
right, a raised bumper provided. But the other ones, any of the perimeter parking spaces that are perpendicular, or you drive into them, you know, straight on, the other ones they don't have a curb, but they have room for an overhang. They're not up against other cars. It's only the ones in the middle of the site, and if you want, I can point out the ones I'm talking about that need variances for parking length, for
No, that's
parking
fine.
stall
I think
length.
you guys all,
Everything from the blue line up on the map is wetland.
wetlands. I was going to say,
So they are
the majority of the
handcuffed.
property is wetland, so it
Right.
really wouldn't be conducive to a building and have enough parking for that building anyway.
We had
as
one
commercial use.
applicant come on this property once before for, I think it was a landscape yard, and I guess they couldn't do it. There was no way to, I mean, they tried to squeeze it
Storage
in
of
there.
materials and stuff.
It's just too tough. I mean, it's,
So it's really a unique situation that it's in close proximity to a car dealership anyway, where they need that. So the property seems like it's perfect for the use that you're asking for.
That's kind of what we thought, or what they think.
Okay. All right, you guys have any questions? Mark? No questions. Mike?
No further questions?
Excuse me, one more thing.
Little gray building there, that is the Honeydew building right there, the bottom by the
Bottom right.
entrance?
Right there.
That is.
He doesn't want to go
Are
there
you going to
'cause-
be pulling the tractor trailers in there to unload, or are they going to unload on the street?
We actually have, does this come off?
Yeah.
All right. We've actually provided, this is a wide enough entrance, and there's room in here to turn around a vehicle, and we have a loading and unloading stall provided on the site. So if at this point, they don't think they need to unload inventory over here, but we have allowed space for it just in case, and if an emergency vehicle or fire truck or something, for some reason, had to get in there, the driveway is adequately sized for that. The only place we're asking also for a 2-foot variance to the parking aisle width, but that is strictly within the parking area. The entire length of the main access drive is conforming in width,
And how
for
long
that
is,
reason.
how long is that front road to get to where you're going to start storing cars? 300 and something feet or 500 feet
This location here?
Yes.
You asked a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
approximately?
But I can measure
We
it.
went over it at the planning board. I thought
we?
it was
Yeah.
375 or 400 and something feet.
To this point here?
That's where you start storing cars, correct?
No, actually, we start storing cars right here, and the planning board had asked that we have it at least 100 feet from
Oh,
the
it's
road.
100 feet. I thought it was
Yes.
500 feet. I apologize.
And that's the parallel parking along the entrance drive. But the bulk of the storage is actually, hold on, I've got,
Will you see those first cars
that's
from Route 6?
600. It's highly unlikely that you will. The ones right at the entrance you may, but the larger storage area in the back, I don't think so.
Okay, I
No.
thought that, didn't the planning board say they didn't want to see cars right at the entrance?
They're not right at the entrance. They're 100 feet back. They're over 100 feet back, and that's what they asked for. They didn't want to see them parking them out on the
Definitely not,
apron.
obviously,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And,
not a-
and we are proposing a gate. I think since we've been to the board, we added a gate, as well as
So the
no
first
public
car is
access
100 feet
signage.
plus back.
Correct.
That kind of goes uphill too, that property, right?
Well, we're actually coming into the site and going downhill all the way to the back so that we could get the stormwater management. Everything drains to the back of the site where the stormwater basins are, because we just didn't have enough room to get them in at the front of the, anything in at the front of the site. This is higher. These properties here are significantly at a significantly higher elevation than the car storage area.
The wetlands higher or lower?
Lower. I know it's, the entire site drains down from up here down to the wetland and towards and to the back, to
They're
the
all going to
south.
be new cars, right? So no oil's going to leak or anything, allegedly.
Well, we've been to the ECB, and that was one of the things that they asked about, and they've asked us to put in some additional measures to address that. But we've designed, our stormwater pollution prevention plan, which we're required to prepare, also addresses that. I mean, we have it covered, but the ECB asked for additional
Okay.
measures, so.
Rob's doing his job. All right, any questions down here?
No questions from me, thank you.
No questions from me.
All right,
So-
any,
Wait one
sorry,
second.
go ahead.
From Route 6,
Yes.
to get a visual on this, all I'm going to see basically is a driveway
And the fence.
Gate,
and a gate?
gate.
There'll be a driveway and a gate. We have to take down the trees in this area to do the site grading, because if you drive through that section right now, the existing conditions are, you're standing on Route 6 and you look down into the site and there's like a 20-foot drop. So we actually have to clear that area and place fill to get the driveway entrance in. And that's it, that's this area in here. But if you're coming this way, this is all wooded here, and that's going to remain. And if you're coming from this direction, the driveway goes in below this area, and you're really not going to see it until you get to this point. And what you'll look in and see is you'll see the gate and possibly these cars at the beginning of the site, which are set back over 100 feet. But you won't see, unless you stop and you look down there, you won't see the larger area of parking.
So the planning board has added trees along that roadway?
Not on this side. But we have screening between the entry drive and the Honeydew Men because they're so close.
For future reference, bring 2 plans, because we usually like one to
Okay.
go on the other pedestal, so the camera can pick it up. If you wouldn't mind, just quickly do that. And Dominic, just for the public, if you can scan in on this, or zoom in on this. All right, is there any public input on this application?
Dips down. You may see this car.
All right, there's no further questions from the board? Okay, I'll look for a motion to close this public hearing.
Motion to close.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Number 2 is here also.
Number 2 is here?
I'm sorry. Better late than never. Come on up. Manfred, right? State your name for the record.
Ashley Manfred.
Raise your right hand, please. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Let us know what you're looking to do here.
We are looking to get a variance for putting a hot tub on our property. The rule, I think, is 10 feet, and we're looking for a 5-foot variance.
Okay, I was a little confused because on your site plan, you showed 5 feet for the shed, so there was some question to that.
And hot tub is crossed out.
Hot tub's right by the house.
The hot tub has like the slashes. We looked at another location for the
Oh,
hot
so
tub,
the
and
hot
we-
tub was going there?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
right by
it.
the
I didn't
house.
realize that was crossed out. I thought
Yeah,
just
it
bad
was
print.
a long saga.
That makes more sense now.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, maybe I was confused, sorry. All right, so have you spoken to your neighbors on that side?
So we're kind of all seasonal, like we're not here very often, so I haven't seen them yet, but we sent out the letters to everybody that we were supposed to do.
There's no other property you can purchase to bring this into conformance? Correct? What's the reason why it's going to that side of the house? I mean, is that off like,
If you look at, have you been to the house?
yeah, it was.
So if you go to the house and you're walking down, there's like the stairs on the right, and then we don't have 10 feet really on either side. So the thought was like the stairs kind of go down and your front door's on the left, so rather than having it sit right there, it's kind of tucked away where nobody sees it. There's a big line of trees, that we have a line of trees and they have a line of trees between us and the neighbors.
Okay.
So in theory, it's pretty private.
I mean, typically you'd want this to get some sun though, too. I'm curious as to why not in the back of the house near the lakeside or,
Well, there's not a lot of space between us and the water, and so we looked at putting it down on this cement patio that we have, but technically it's owned by the state of New York, but they won't claim it, so we can't unless we like hire lawyers and try to get somebody to take possession of that I got permission from like the DEC, the DEP, like every state department, and everyone said you can do it because it's not ours. But the
But I
state
need
pays
something in writing.
taxes on the lake.
Somebody has to claim it to give her permission to do it, and
Nobody will do it.
Yeah, so he said we could either hire lawyers and like go that route.
all right, well, you
Or we
definitely
could
don't
put it
want it,
here.
you don't want it in the front of the house either, so.
Yeah, and it's just awkward if it's in the front yard.
What's the size of the hot tub that you're putting in?
It's 8 feet by 8 feet.
Bless you.
Thank you, excuse me. All right, any questions from the board? Mark? Mike? Bill?
No questions, thank you.
Down here?
Questions?
No questions.
All right, any public input on this application? I don't think so. Look for a motion to close this public hearing.
So moved.
Seconded? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. God bless you.
Thank you. Going down
You
the
guys
line here.
feel a need to take a break?
Nah. Not me.
Good over here?
I feel like Steve.
Mike, you need a break? You deserve a break tonight, buddy. All right, let's vote. There's no further public input on any of these applications. Going back to the agenda, Freeman, we held over one more month. That's it. Number 2, Manfred.
Motion to grant?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, granted. Number 3, Timothy and Amy Smith. Look for a motion.
Motion to grant?
Seconded by?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, granted. Number 4, Grossman. Look for a motion.
Motion to grant?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, granted. Number 5, Simone. Look for a motion.
Motion to grant with the condition that when the shed needs to be replaced, they will have to bring it into conformance.
Do I have a second on that?
Second. Oh,
All in favor?
aye.
Granted, with conditions. Number 6, Craig Kehoe. Do I have a motion?
Motion to grant with the stipulation that if the shed needs to be replaced, it needs to be brought into conformance.
Okay, do we have a second on that?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, granted with conditions. Number 7 is adjourned to June.
So it's number 8.
Number 8 is adjourned to June. Number 9, Gorlick. Do I have a motion?
Grant? Grant?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, granted. And number 10, 1979 Route 6 LLC. Do I have a motion?
Motion to grant?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. All right, minutes from April 28th. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Motion to accept.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's it. Thanks, everyone. Have a great summer. We'll see you in June.
Have a happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.
Right.
We should have a place for